It's been 6 years since my last proper Transformers review, that being the Mastermind Creations Feral Rex, which isn't even a proper, officially licensed Transformer. So I think it's time to talk about that despite buying Transformers, I haven't been talking about them on this channel.
It's Morphin time!
You can tell I haven't looked at the Transformers display in a while because I just have sweeps just kind of tossed up there. We're going to clean that up. Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome to the We Don't Talk About Bruno of Transformers videos on this channel, because I don't talk about Transformers much anymore, but I'm going to make a video about how I don't talk about Transformers, which means I'm also talking about Transformers. That makes some sense. But anyways, we're going to kind of discuss why I haven't really been covering Transformers stuff in the last 6 years. And I wasn't kidding with that intro. It was 6 years ago. It was the last dedicated Transformers video, and that was a third-party toy. So yeah. But I kind of wanted to kind of express how I've been feeling about Transformers, because when I started this channel, I started wanting to review Transformers and then somehow ended up settling on doing a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Serpentera, which has also made sure that I'm pretty much a Power Rangers guy. You know, Transformers was kind of like that secondary thing to Power Rangers until now, when we have Sonic and Star Trek as two of the highest performing things on the channel. But when it comes down to it, man, I've gone from really heavy Transformers guy to okay, here I am, still collecting, because I still am. I mean, most of this stuff is a few years. I mean, here's Pipes just sitting on top of things. Origin Bumblebee's just chilling. I haven't redone this display because I don't have the passion for it. Because legitimately, when it comes to Transformers, first of all, let's talk about fiction. I like Cyberverse. I enjoyed that. RID 2015, I kept forgetting existed. Didn't really get into Rescue Bots. Haven't been into the comics heavily, except for the Beast Wars comic, which pretty much just got killed almost as fast as it started. Thanks, licensing. So, you know, it's Transformers-wise, engaging with the media, a little light. And in terms of you know, toys, I'm really frustrated. Let's get to that in a moment. The main reason why I haven't been able to do anything on Transformers is not for a lack of trying, but for a lack of ideas. Because, well, when it comes down to it, I could review Studio Series 86 Wreck-Gar, but some dude got one out of the factory in China before that was even announced or whatever and already reviewed it months ago, so what would be the point of doing this? Because by the time I got it, because I bought them in a store, there's 10 or 12 people that have already reviewed it. There's nothing new to say about Wreck-Gar that hasn't already been said. And that's the case with the standard reviews. So that's out. There are a lot of people on YouTube that do Transformers reviews, because it's kind of the first thing that kind of got video reviews going, because you could do a text review on a Marvel Legend with pictures and it's fine. But Transformers with their transformation factor, you want to show that off on camera because that doesn't come through in pictures very well. So that's kind of how we got here. And there are other reviewers that do way better stuff with Transformers than I ever could. And I mean it, because there are people that dedicate their channels to Transformers stuff, and I kind of want to leave it to it, because honestly, I don't know what else to say. So in terms of that, you know, is there a point to this video besides just complaining how I don't talk about Transformers? Not really, but I will say that I've been kind of looking for a new angle. Let me step you through my video process in terms of coming up with a video idea, because I don't really talk about this too much, but let's go for it. So for example, I always look at time frame. So for example, I needed a Monday video that I could prep in advance that wouldn't be irrelevant because I was going on a convention. I was going to a convention trip. So I was like, okay, cool. I need a Monday video. What should I do? Oh, hey, why don't I talk about why I don't review Transformers? That should be an easy edit. I can get that done ahead of time and then get ready for my trip. And here we are. You're watching this on a Monday and I'm on a plane. So that's just kind of how that goes. But then there's other things where they're more intense. Like, for example, when we get to, you know, some of the bigger retrospective projects, like the Star Trek one. I'm like, okay, I need this much time to work on this so I can get to this video. But the thing I always want to make sure is before I go into a big production, is this something that somebody else has already done? Because while I could do it in my own way, in my own style, I don't really want redundancies out there. I want to try to go with a new angle. So for example, when I was thinking about how to review Marvel Legends, what was that, 2017 or 2018? I thought, what if I reviewed the entire year's worth of Marvel Legends in one video? And that's how I came up with the rundown format because, well, no one else was really doing it. And so I've expanded rundowns now include Masterverse and Power Ranger Lightning Collection, and also the, wow, completely forgot what the fourth one I did was. It's not like I spent an entire month editing rundowns and driving myself insane to just forget what was the fourth rundown. Oh, GHO Classified. There you go. So kind of the idea is that, think about it, is this something somebody else has done? Do I have something new to say? Same thing for a review. For example, I reviewed Figuarts Alphamon because I didn't see many people talking about it, and I thought, hey, I can put my own unique spin on it. With Transformers, that's kind of hard, because again, there's like so many people that review Transformers, and because I'm not passionate, I'm not getting things the second they drop. I think the newest stuff I have, yeah, we got the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Cup, because I found one, Legacy Blaster, because I found one, and Legacy Skids, because he shipped 3 months early from Amazon, and I needed this guy right away, because I love Skids, and this poor guy is abused by the Transformers continuity and toy production, because he's got clear plastic hinges, and that makes me sad. But anyways, point is, I don't talk about Transformers. So when it comes down to it, I could review stuff that's pretty current, but again, because of some other factors and some other reviewers that get their stuff way earlier than everyone else, what's the point of doing a straight review? So I thought to myself, in fact, it was a couple years ago, I thought, hey, why don't I add Transformers to the rundown lineup? Then Hasbro ruined that plan because I thought about this. So I was like, okay, cool. So we got something like Earthrise, right? Like here's Runabout, right? G1 styled update guys. You know, the usual thing we've been getting since Classics in 2006, which is probably the first toy line I collected because it was the first one I actively sought out. I was like, I need everybody from Classics, and I went for it. None of them remain on the shelf because they've all been upgraded. So, you know, there was that, and I was like, okay, cool, Earthrise. Not necessarily the most exciting line, but I thought about Siege, Earthrise timeline, cool, can kind of work with this. Got put on the back burner. I was like, all right, maybe for Kingdom, because Kingdom had Beast Wars. By the way, Tigatron, fantastic. Kingdom had Beast Wars. Beast Wars is what I grew up with. So I was like, oh, dang, maybe I'll do it for Kingdom. And then Hasbro pulled a stupid. Because for some reason, even though Kingdom was Beast Wars themed, it still had G1 characters. And we had fun little things like this, where we had Kingdom Cyclonus, you know, G1 86 movie character. And then Scourge was a Studio Series release, because he was in the movie. But so was Cyclonus, not Tigatron. Get out of here, Tigatron. So was Cyclonus. These two characters are intrinsically linked in fiction. Why were they in two different lines? And then the thing was, it's like, okay, well, if I do a rundown for Kingdom, I should probably include the Studio Series 86 guys because, well, you know, they're G1 styled update characters like the Kingdom guys. Well, then the question became, do I do it year by year like I do the rundowns? Do I do 2020 and then 2021, then 2022? Or do I do it by line? Because every year the line resets, except for Studio Series. And then if I do the Studio Series, do I only include the G1 stuff in the Kingdom video? And then on top of that, they had to throw in things like Buzzworthy Bumblebee, where there's a brand new Bumblebee figure that's totally G1 based and not movie based. And then on top of that, there's also a Netflix line, which happens to feature a Soundwave that's totally G1 based, better than the one that was released in Siege, and it came out of control. Because there's like 4 or 5 sublines, because there's also Generation Selects, which some of those are G1 characters, some of those are just toy repaints, some of those are just made up out of nowhere. How am I supposed to keep track of all this, and to the point putting it into one video, and that video not be 3 hours long, and have a bunch of asterisks as to how things qualify? So to say that I've tried, and I've thought of the ideas, and not been able to execute any of them, is kind of an understatement. Because, Hasbro's made this really hard to do as a rundown. And that was kind of my last shot. So taking a breather, another thing that bugs me with Transformers is the repeatability. Because I own Blur too many times. I have the IDW one from Generations. I've got the Takara Legends one that was the more cartoon accurate color scheme. And I just bought the Studio Series because he was on sale. This one looked really nice. I was like, oh, I'm happy with this one. Then this one came along and I was like, I kind of want you. And then I waited till sale and got him on sale. But how many Blurs is too many? How many Optimus Primes? How many, I don't know. There's a lot of people we've repeated. And then how interesting is it to talk about besides going, oh, hey, this one looks like this and this one looks like this. And I didn't feel like transforming him for the video. I'm sorry. But repeatability is a thing. But there's like another factor. Yeah, there's a couple other things. Let me just give you an idea of some of my inner thoughts on Transformers. This is Terrorsaur. He's an iconic Beast Wars Season 1 character. He's a retool of Airraiser. He was exclusive to Amazon for some reason. Also, his quality control is terrible. And this is not the only time I would say these exact words. And that's another thing. I don't usually like doing rant videos where I end up repeating the same rant over and over again, which is why the Lightning Collection rundown for 2021 was really hard for me to make, because I basically had to lay out an entire 15-minute preamble about how the line has terrible quality control and inconsistency, and I'd probably have to do the same with Transformers because moving the wing is too hard. So that gets kind of exhausting because I feel like I say the same complaints, and most of the time it's character selection and exclusives, which is terrible right now. Like, Terrorsaur should have never been an exclusive to Amazon in a lineup of a bunch of random repaints that homage other things. But here we are. Let's make Terrorsaur exclusive just because he's a retool. Then there's another thing I will consistently complain about, because it has to be said. This is not a Commander class figure. This is a Voyager, kind of a leader, with a big honkin' trailer that's slightly more engineered than other figures. Why is this $80? And I ask, why is this $80? Because these two cost the same price, only 2 years apart. Like, yeah, he's a more basic bot. Yeah, he's more complex. Why is he the same price? Let's include the trailer. Just picture I'm holding that as well, and I have 3 arms. This should not be the same price. What the heck is up with the scaling? Yeah, it's Rodimus Prime. That's probably why they charged 80. He should have been 60 max. I paid 65 and felt like I overpaid. But you know what? If he was 60, probably would have been cool with it. It's like a liter plus a little bit extra. This felt like an $80 Transformer. This did not. And that's a complaint I will keep rolling with, because the price scaling also doesn't make sense between lines. Kingdom Galvatron, Studio Series Soundwave. Roughly the same complexity of transformation, roughly the same amount of paint detail, because they added stupid battle damage this guy didn't need. And guess what? He's 50 and he's 30. And that includes the price increase. He's 33, he's 55 now. This does not feel $20 more than this. I know I'm complaining about things I already bought, but this is why I'm not passionate about Transformers and why I have a hard time talking about it. In an effort to not sound too ranty, Black Zarek was like my favorite Transformer I've gotten recently. He felt like he was worth his money. He is large, he is impressive, he's got solid construction, and yeah, I don't have any complaints about him. Also, I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna do, because let's talk about Black Zarek in a video. I've discussed this, and I think I'm gonna go forward with it. Why not do like a retrospective on the Titan class? I mean, we've gotten quite a few like 2-foot tall Transformers now in the Titan class. I think we should look back on them. What do you guys think? You should let me know, because I'm kind of thinking like, yeah, let's do a Titan class retrospective and see where we can go from there. So at the end of the day, why don't I talk about Transformers? Lack of passion, frustration with everything, and other people cover it better with more enthusiasm. So I'll leave it to them. But, you know, I really do like Legacy Blaster, and I do want to talk about Transformers again. So let's see about that Titan class retrospective and see if we could do something like that. Maybe even going back and going, hey, let's do a retrospective on Combiner Wars and then Titans Return, and then just work on the older lines that are already done and separate them out. You give me some ideas, because we could even do top 10 lists. I think Transformers should return to the channel because, well, Legacy's happening, and Legacy is gathering all the Transformers of the multiverse, even though it's like 90% G1, but that's a whole different video for another time. So, I don't know, let's do some Transformers stuff. Maybe you guys should throw me some ideas. I don't have too many ideas on what to do that other people aren't doing, so I'll take any input I can get. But that does it for this video. I really don't have anything else to say, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a comment down below and tell me. Hit the like button at the very least, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell. There might be more Transformers in the future, probably that Titan class thing, and we'll see if anything goes from there. I'd like any and all input, honestly, because, yeah, Transformers is clearly a big part of my life, because this isn't even the only Transformers display. There's another one on the other side of the room that you see in other videos. It's all the Headmasters onward guys. This is just up through 86. You know, I think that I love Transformers. I just need the fire and the passion and the creative fuel. Blaster almost did it. He sparked something, but yeah, that's where I'm at. So if you enjoyed this, also check out my graphic designer on Twitter at darkclaw643 and HeroClub at hero-club.com for news and more. And until next time, this is Soundout saying, I like Blaster a lot.